Welcome back, I'm Felix, and today I am reacting to the worst gender reveal deaths you'll ever hear. So basically, gender reveals gone wrong. And yes, I cut my hair and shaved. I just thought it was time to do both. And no, my family did not like it. I wish I would have recorded the reactions. But anyway, these gender reveals, I hate gender reveals. In the beginning, they seemed, oh, that's cute. Now it's just like, there's an industry around it. And people in other countries are starting to do it. It's like, no, don't start this trend over there. No, these are horrible. And people have gotten hurt and lost their lives. So it's like, I've heard stories where people lost an eye, gone deaf. There's one, a couple poisoned a river or a stream. I think it was a stream at a national park. They dumped like blue dye in it and turned the thing blue. And they didn't have permission to do that. They never got permission to do it. And yeah, the dye they used was poison, basically. And I'm not sure how much stuff got killed as a result, but they got fined. They got a huge fine. But yeah, gender reveals, they're not fun. It's just another way for the party industry to make money. And the fact that there's an industry around it is even more baffling. But yeah, let's watch these gender reveals and see how people died. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, let's get into it.
Pamela Creemmeyer.
Oh.
Let's start in rural Iowa, October 26th, 2019. The Creemmeyer family was getting ready for a party. 56-year-old Pamela Creemmeyer was excited to find out the gender of her grandchild. The family, wanting to do something special for social media, decided to build their own explosive reveal device. Their plan was to pack a metal tube with gunpowder and colored powder so it would shoot a festive cloud of pink or blue into the air.
No.
But then they made a fatal mistake. To make the explosion more dramatic, they sealed the top of the metal tube with a piece of tape and a wooden board.
Why?
They had just, completely by accident, built a perfect pipe bomb.
What?
When they lit...
Why? Let me calm down. Oh, God. Let me calm down. I want to travel back to 2019 and just beat the hell out of these people. I hope someone got held responsible for this. I hope someone got some jail time. At least one person went to jail. Somebody went to jail. Please tell me someone went to jail. Why would you cover the... I don't know that much about bombs, but I know enough that if you cover both ends of something you just put a bunch of explosives in, you got a pipe bomb. Oh my God. This is why I hate gender reveals, because of stupid. So stupid. And did you know there's actually a thing, like there's like statistical data on how many people have died from gender reveals? Enough people have died that they now keep a statistical database basically on it.
The device didn't just release a colorful puff of smoke. It detonated. The metal tube fragmented, sending high-velocity shrapnel flying in every direction. Pamela was standing about 45 feet away. A piece of metal, flying faster than a bullet, struck her in the head. She was killed instantly. The projectile had so much force that after passing through her skull, it continued for another 400 feet.
What the hell? Why? Why did you need that animation? That was so unnecessary. Oh my God. That was so unnecessary.
Before landing in a field.
Sounds.
The sheriff's office...
Did you hear the sound effect? Hold on, let me go back.
The projectile had so much force that after passing through her skull, it continued for another 400 feet before landing in a field.
So unnecessary.
The sheriff's office later released a statement explaining that the family had inadvertently created a lethal explosive device. A celebration of new life ended by killing the baby's grandmother with a homemade IED, all for a video. The irony is just brutal. Charles Morton. Sometimes the victim of a gender reveal isn't a guest or a family member. Sometimes it's the person who has to clean up the mess. Meet Charles Morton, a 39-year-old veteran firefighter, a squad boss for the elite Big Bear interagency hotshots in California.
Oh, did this start a fire 'Cause I've heard about gender reveals doing that. So this start a fire.
He was the guy you call when a fire gets out of control. On September 5th, 2020, a couple held a gender reveal party in El Dorado Ranch Park near Yucaipa, California. It was peak wildfire season. The air was hot, the grass was dry as tinder. They decided to use a smoke-generating pyrotechnic device for their big announcement. The device malfunctioned and instantly ignited the dry grass around it. The fire spread with terrifying speed. This wasn't a small brush fire. Nope. This became the El Dorado fire, a monster that would go on to burn for over a month, scorching more than 22,000 acres, destroying homes and forcing thousands to evacuate. Whew. And for 12 days, Charles Morton and his crew were on the front lines, battling the inferno. On September 17th, while fighting the very fire that started with a puff of colored smoke, Charles was killed in the line of duty. The exact details of his...
The animation they're using is so wrong. It's so wrong. It is.
Death weren't released, but in those conditions, it's a horrific mix of extreme heat, smoke, and trauma.
Why? Oh my God. Why? Why are they doing this? Oh my God.
The couple who...
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and give it a thumbs up.
started the fire were later charged with involuntary manslaughter. Their little party to reveal their baby's gender didn't just cause millions in damages. It cost a hero his life. Rest in peace, Charles.
I believe other people died as well. So, yeah.
The Mexican Air Force. You'd think that after one plane crashed and killed someone at a gender reveal, people might stop hiring planes for gender reveals, right? But you'd be wrong. Of course, in Mexico, it happened twice in just a couple of years, creating a mini trend.
Twice. I hope he goes over both of them. Let's see.
Flyovers. First, September 2nd, 2023 in Sinaloa. A couple stands under a giant "Oh Baby" sign. A small plane, a Piper Pawnee, swoops in low, releasing a plume of pink smoke. It's a girl.
Seems harmless.
The couple embraces. The guests cheer. But as the plane pulls up, its left wing suddenly folds into the fuselage. The aircraft spirals out of control and...
You know what? I don't blame this on the couple. This sounds like pilot error. This pilot didn't take care of his plane. So I'm not holding a... I just realized something about this animation. This is... was a PNG file. He's just moving through the air shaking. Hey, why not?
Crashes just beyond the party. The 32-year-old pilot was pulled from the wreckage alive, but died in the hospital. The most chilling part of the video? The partygoers keep cheering, completely oblivious to the fact that the pilot who just delivered their news is dying a few hundred feet away. Now, rewind 2 years earlier, to March 29th, 2020.
Yeah, that one is pilot error. Because it sounded like the plane was not in great shape for the wing just to kind of collapse in on itself. So that one, I'm checking up the pilot error, the maintenance issues with the plane.
In Cancun. Another party, this time on a beach. Another small plane flies low over the water, trailing pink smoke. "Niña, niña," the crowd screams. "It's a girl." The plane continues.
Well, don't do it if it's a girl. It's that simple.
Over the Nichupte Lagoon, and then just nosedives straight into the water. This time, both people on board, the pilot and co-pilot, were killed. One died on impact, the other after being rescued. Two different parties.
Yeah, again, I'm not blaming the gender reveal on the families that did the gender reveal. This is pilot issues. There was mechanical issues with these planes. I don't know how strict the Mexican government is when it comes to planes. But yeah, it sounds like there was mechanical issues with these planes. And that's why. Because even though they both took place after they released, something else went wrong. Probably some kind of mechanical issue attached to them releasing the smoke. And it just messed up the whole plane. So my guess is they did not check out their planes before they left. Or they didn't take into consideration the sudden decrease in weight after they released the gas. But either way, it sounded like neither one of these had done this before. And again, like I said, I don't know how strict Mexico is with their planes, but it definitely sounds like mechanical issues that should have been checked before the plane took off. And I guarantee you, if you go back in time and look at these planes, you'll find they were not in the best of shape.
2 different planes, same pink smoke, and a total of 3 dead pilots. All so a couple could get a dramatic video for Instagram. The people hired to perform the stunt are sacrificed for the shot, while the families on the ground are left with a video that is equal parts celebration and snuff. Evan Thomas Silva. Okay, so this next one wasn't technically a gender reveal, but a baby shower. Yet it's driven by the exact same fatally stupid impulse, the need for a bigger bang. On February 6th, 2021, in Gaines Township, Michigan, friends and family gathered to celebrate an upcoming birth. Among them was 26-year-old Evan Thomas Silva from Heartland, Michigan. He wasn't a stuntman, not a pyromaniac, just a friend at a party. The mood was light, people talked, laughed, unwrapped gifts. Then someone decided it was time to kick things up a notch. The homeowner had recently bought a small cannon at an auction, a so-called...
Oh God, it's going to explode. Because this person probably knows nothing about cannons, doesn't know you need to make sure they're clean. It's going to explode. Because old cannons, even if they're well maintained, the metal weakens over time and can explode.
Or signal cannon, meant to make a loud bang, a flash, and some smoke. Not a weapon of war, just a party gimmick. It had been fired before without issues, which probably gave everyone a false sense of security. This time they set it up in the backyard, loaded it with gunpowder, likely more than it was ever designed to handle, and got ready for the big boom. Only the cannon didn't perform like a cute noisemaker. It didn't go boom and spit out a harmless cloud. Pressure built up inside, the metal couldn't take it, and the whole thing ruptured like a grenade. Metal fragments tore through the yard, hitting cars, peppering the garage, and slamming into the guests. Evan was standing about 10 to 15 feet away when a chunk of the cannon hit him. One piece of flying metal was all it took to turn a healthy 26-year-old into a critical trauma case. He was rushed to the hospital, but his injuries were too severe. Evan died not long after the blast. Investigators later concluded that the cannon was overloaded, never built for that amount of pressure. It didn't fire a projectile, it became the projectile, turning from antique-looking party prop into a DIY shrapnel bomb. No criminal charges were filed in the end. It was ruled a tragic act.
Honestly, even the first one, I think criminal charges should have been filed. And this one, if you fired this before and you put extra stuff in there, you should be held liable. If I was that boy's or the 26-year-old's family, I would sue. I would sue you to oblivion.
Accident, not a deliberate act. But that doesn't change the underlying mindset. This wasn't about safety or common sense or just having a nice afternoon. It was about a bigger bang, a more dramatic moment, a better video. And at a party meant to celebrate a new life, a guest lost his own because of one stupid, explosive stunt. Christopher Peckney. There's a special kind of tragedy when the person killed at a gender reveal is the father-to-be himself.
I kept waiting for one of these to be the father or the mother. And the grandma was bad enough, but I was waiting for, I thought that last one was going to be the mother that got killed. But this one's going to be the father.
And gets to meet the child, whose gender he was so excited to announce. That's the story of 28-year-old Christopher Peckney from Liberty, New York.
Hello!
On February 21st, 2021, Christopher and his brother Michael were in their garage working on a homemade gender reveal device. Just like the case in...
What's with the homemade crap? Stop doing the homemade stuff. Especially if you don't know what you're doing. And neither one of these groups knew what they were doing. No one knew what they were doing. That's why I think criminal charges should have been filed.
Iowa, it was some kind of pipe designed to explode and shoot out colored powder. Christopher was mechanically inclined, his family said. He was just tinkering, trying to build something cool for his first baby.
Well, why'd you draw it like that? You knew we were going to think that. I thought that was the first time I saw it, actually. I just didn't say anything. Hey, you knew what you were doing.
While they were assembling it, the device suddenly and violently exploded. The blast was so powerful, it was heard around the neighborhood.
What the hell did they use? Oh, please tell me they didn't use C4. I've heard of people using C4 for gender reveals. Like, well, maybe not actual C4. No, I think there was one where they did. Well, that was a TV show now I think about it. I'm confusing the TV show one. But I've heard of people using explosives for the gender reveal in real life. And that's what it sounds like they did. They got a hold of some explosives and made a pipe bomb.
First responders arrived, they found a scene of carnage. Christopher Peckney was dead. His brother Michael was seriously injured. The New York State Police Bomb Disposal Unit had to be called in to investigate what exactly had gone wrong. It's the same sad story. A guy excited about becoming a dad decides to play with explosives. He underestimates the power, he makes a small mistake in the design, and the device he's building to celebrate his child becomes the bomb that kills him. He died in his own garage, killed by his own creation, leaving his partner to have their baby alone.
Yeah, explosives are nothing to play around with. You got to be careful. Just as we just saw, you can die. So don't play with explosive, people. Keep the gender reveal simple. Confetti, put stuff in, and do the balloon confetti, or a cake. Keep it simple. There's no reason to take someone's life for a gender reveal. There's no reason to start a fire for a gender reveal. Unless you have you're doing a fire, like you're having a cookout, and they have those things that you throw in fires that let off color smoke. Those are safe, but don't try to do one homemade. Do not do one homemade. That's what these deaths all contributed to, is homemade stuff. Every single one was homemade. Well, except for the planes. The planes were, I guarantee you, those planes were not well maintained. But yeah, just be careful out there. If someone invites you to a gender reveal, say no. No, seriously, don't go. You may not make it out of there alive. All right, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and everyone take care. Later.